You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Ian Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Dexter. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest Dexter news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's AFTERBUZZ TV for Dexter.
It is AFTERBUZZ TV for Dexter. I'm Steve Bottomley, and I am here with Kristen Snyder and Elise Donoghue. And I'm lucky I get to look at these two beautiful women because they have so much knowledge about Dexter and the show. And, well, let's get right into it. This episode was Smokey and the Bandit. And a lot going on with Dexter, right? He's got some demons he's battling. It's a bit more internal right now.
It is. And with the whole religion aspect, the whole theme of this season it seems to be wanting the audience to almost self-reflect, which is probably alienating some viewers, but such a new world with a lot of thematic elements for people to obviously discuss and think about in their own lives.
Right. He's well, again, you know, a lot of I guess Harrison has changed his outlook quite a bit. Now he really has to start looking at his future. And I thought this episode really was about looking at his future. They literally laid his future out in front of him in the form of the Tooth Fairy case, which was his big challenge this episode. He had to crack that one. Oh. And we got to see Ronnie Cox again, which is always good to see. So what do you think? Tooth Fairy case. I really saw it as, like I said, that is his future. And I liked how they were able to bring his past to help him navigate through the flashbacks of his dad.
Oh, I loved it. I mean, I thought one of my favorite parts was when Dexter pulled out his, scrapbook from when he was it 9?
Yes.
And it was such a, parallel to, okay, I should probably be, helping scrapbook for my son.
Or reading the Bible.
Or reading the Bible or doing something. And then, he pulls out this book that is just, clippings of, tracking this serial killer for God knows how long. And it was just, it was great. I loved it.
It's just fascinating to see how his father is so supportive of who his son is. It's just like, that's fatherly love, and that's the element that he now has to carry to his child. And I don't think his child is going to be a serial killer. So, he's got to figure out how he's going to deal with that as the questions. And I think they're starting to tip that a little bit, right? The son's getting a little interested in the box.
Well, yes. And I mean, I think Dexter has a belief that if he acts as a father is supposed to act, that everything's going to turn out for a happy ending for his son and have a normal childhood. But I think his belief in that is going to alter, and I think that he's going to eventually find some tortured dead bugs in his child's box that he got him.
And you wonder how he'll deal with that. Is he going to go, oh, good, or is he going to go, no, don't do this, don't be like me,
I think it's a lot of acceptance is a theme, and I think he's going to have to deal with that with his son as well. He can't really change what it is that's going on. But back to the Tooth Fairy, I just wanted to mention that Dexter idolizing the Tooth Fairy instead of idolizing any sort of god. He's disappointed when Walter reveals that he accidentally dropped the dead body off at the detective's house. He was just lazy, Dexter thought that was so cool and idolized that fact. And it's like what he idolized is becoming such a disappointment. So disappointment in your heroes.
Oh, great point, Kristen. Great point.
We'll take it from the beginning. So they find a hooker, and there's a tooth missing, and that rings Dexter's bell because he has his scrapbook, his composition book, and it rings a bell because he's thinking, oh, wait a minute, I know this. And I love that scene where he's looking through it and the dad's right there, just helping along. Now, if you watch that, the dad isn't giving any more information that wouldn't be the internal conversation Dexter's having. It's not like the dad saying, hey, go check over at this mailbox. It is absolutely, but the fact that they bring him in and let him have that voice. And by the way, the voiceover in this show is used well.
I'm usually totally against voiceovers. I think it's cheap, but here I think it's used as an internal fight, which adds conflict. It adds so much conflict.
And because it is such an internal thing.
That's great.
That's true.
So, so they have the hooker, and then they notice. And now here's the thing that I was wondering. He ends up, he does the math really quick and figures that the Tooth Fairy killer must be in his 70s. But did I miss something? How did he know which retirement home to go to?
He said, why would anyone come to Miami when they're 70? And he looked up retirement homes. I think he Googled it, and Coral Island came up. And he was sent there. So I think Coral Island is like, this sparkleized nursing home. Right.
But there's got to be a ton of retirement homes down in Florida. So I missed that beat that got him. Usually in the show, there's he'll do the mental gymnastics and put the, pieces together. Anyway, and runs into the charming Walter Kenny. This is nicest man.
Love that guy.
Nicest man. Who's Ronnie Cox. And just a foul-mouthed, old, bitter. And for a while, I didn't think it was a Tooth Fairy killer. I really did.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
I was feeling empathy. I was understanding.
Yeah. I just think, I don't know. I think you're on the wrong trail. And then he starts hanging out with Walter and going on his errands.
And he gives Walter a father-son experience that perhaps he never had with his son.
Absolutely.
Before he died.
He dies. At what point did you finally figure it's probably the Tooth Fairy? Right before he goes into the storage bin or the storage area?
I mean, obviously he has a storage area for a reason, not just because he lives in a nursing home. I mean, his room at his nursing home was there was nothing there. It was very empty. So obviously he has something to hide in a storage area. So as soon as I saw the store where he was going, I knew it.
Right.
I thought he was, just a dirty old man. Do you remember when they were having lunch right after golf and he was, eyeing the waitress's butt and then he wanted to, get all the porn magazines and it's like, oh, okay, maybe we're just on the wrong track here.
Maybe he's just, and then he answers the door and the pen stoppers or whatever.
Gosh,
like, I thought you said 9. I'll be right with you.
Exactly. Yeah, they're just trying to make it just seemed like they were trying to make the whole situation of an elderly man going bad, really real, just losing all his filters and, whatnot.
Now, as soon as they show the storage unit and he goes in and says, I'll get a bus, were you not just, oh, God, let's just get to that storage unit? What's in the storage unit?
Yeah,
I want to know what's in that unit. And, it's just like that thing. Even when you drive by, don't you kind of wonder, I wonder what's in those? I wonder what's in those.
I keep driving.
Keep driving. So, and he picks the lock and he finds, what did he find?
He found that his idol had a box as well.
He does have a box. And that was the first moment, I think, where he realizes this is a future. I'm looking at a future here. And they started to play that beat quite a bit. He finds his box of teeth.
Not quite as organized as Dexter's
No, he doesn't have
blood
that.
samples, but that's It's okay.
Still had blood on him.
Yeah.
That was kind of freaky. So he knew. He knew that Walter was the Tooth Fairy killer. So he's got to get rid of him. That's what Dexter does. He's got to get rid of the evil. And Walter has plans as well. And you got surprised?
Oh my gosh, I was so surprised. I know you guys weren't. I'm a little jet lagged. I'm not gonna lie.
You're on Eastern time.
And I was just so shocked to find out that he knew. You know, Walter knew that Dexter was on to him, and I just felt I believed him when he was at the bus stop and just lost. You know.
It's how the mind works. They just keep luring. It's just cat and mouse. You know,
Yeah.
there's always prey.
Oh my goodness.
You know, he's acting like an old man as Dexter's acting like a father.
Yeah, that's a great point, Kristen.
And I love they do a little old person bit in there. What does he say? I goggled you.
I goggled you.
I goggled you when you're getting.
I goggled you with the gun pressed up against his cheek. I gargled you.
See, and I just had a note right here. It's like he's making it too easy. He's making it too easy. And so the gun, he pulls a gun, and Dexter gets out of it by running the car into the fence, airbags, but we hear the gun go off, so we don't know who's hurt, if anyone's hurt. And then we're going to leave that just for a minute because Deb had a really hard first day, I think.
Oh, yeah.
First day as lieutenant.
Yep.
Her first day, and she's already finding Dexter to blow off steam.
Oh.
I can't do this. Everyone hates me.
No, it was between Quinn, I feel like, and Dexter, and obviously she's always going to choose her brother to be the man in her life.
Yeah, she is.
And with LaGuarta is obviously fighting the fact that Deb is now captain because she wanted Bautista to be captain, and I think she's feeling regret.
I'm sorry, but Deb is lieutenant, right?
Deb is now lieutenant.
Right. And Bautista is he was.
Bautista was supposed to become lieutenant.
Okay.
But Tom Matthews, the head of the department, went against LaGuarta and said, no, I'm making Deb lieutenant because everyone saw her as a hero from the last episode, and I'm going against your judgment. And I think LaGuarta feels regret, and she feels that it's her fault that Bautista is not captain over Deb.
Okay. Well, he's not. She is, and she's still having run-ins with Quinn. What's going on there? Do they still like each other?
Well,
I know she likes him, but
I think Kristen brought up a great point. Deb is really fighting because she wants to be with Quinn, and I think she really truly loves Quinn, but in the back of her mind she knows that she's never going to get the acceptance of her brother, so she self-sabotages herself. That's what I think what's going on with her.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. She has a lot of, life-changing decisions here. She was asked to be married and turned that down, and then she had to decide whether to take the lieutenant job that her father never took. I mean, that's a big step and huge life changes, and she still doesn't know the true nature of her brother.
She doesn't. And here's the thing I love about Dexter as a character. He can shut that persona off in a second. You see him, doing the search on the computer, trying to figure out the Tooth Fairy case, and she comes in and he just shuts it off and, hey, what's up? And they do that every time. He can jump from that, the Dexter to the brother, and just so quickly, and they do that so well. I love how they do that. And by the way, real quick, the opening, when we were watching the opening, you said it's still the best opening.
Oh my
you've ever
gosh,
seen.
the opening is like it's like Christmas.
Every
time I watch it,
when he hits the mosquito and he smiles.
Oh my gosh, it's so like I want to meet the man that filmed it and the guy that edited. It's just brilliant. It truly is. And as a professional photographer, I just have a special appreciation for work like that. Really brilliant.
For the framing and
oh my gosh, everything. And and the music that goes with it. I mean, really. gosh, it's just a
Is there a award that is
there's-
given for
yeah,
opening sequence?
I think we should create one. I think we should
Right
give
here.
an AFTERBUZZ
Buzz
award.
After
Yeah, the
Buzz
Buzz.
Oh, you guys want to go to the battle for
Jess, can we do
everybody
that?
else?
Can we do that, Jess?
AFTERBUZZ opening award? Yeah, he's going like, sure, yeah, whatever. I don't know.
Congratulations,
He's
Dexter.
watching the football game back there.
I want to be the one that hands it to him or her.
I'll create it. I'm a creator.
Hey,
If we can do some paper mache, Kristen.
Very good at origami.
nice,
Very good at origami.
nice. Get with the flour and water and the little newspaper
I
strip.
was thinking more cranes. It will go along with the season and the flock.
There you go.
The flock of birds.
We're wandering. So Debbie's first day on lieutenant, and she has to do her first briefing. And is this intentional? Does Quinn step up and throw a wrench in it just as a get back? Is that what happened?
Sabotage begins.
Is that what happened?
The breakup sabotage.
And then LaGuardia saw it and jumps on the Quinn bandwagon, right?
Yeah,
And
because
says,
she is trying to prove that she was right in saying that Deb isn't worthy of being captain yet. She just came out of her diapers, she said in the last episode. And which is funny, Bautista is actually giving Deb his blessing, and he's not taking it near as bad as LaGuardia is, and he's actually helping Deb. So we've got some relationship battles going on there. Because Quinn was with Deb and LaGuardia with Bautista, and now they have both taken sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the battle lines are definitely being drawn here. And forgive me because I think I'm a season behind, but how long has Quinn been with this in this precinct? How long has Quinn
been in the picture?
Yeah.
Just last season.
Has it been 2 seasons?
Maybe.
Yeah, I think 2 seasons.
Okay, so he's going to be around for a while.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I like
Dexter
Quinn.
tells him.
I like Quinn.
Good-looking guy.
He's a
that
good guy.
Quinn.
I think he means well, and I think he found someone great in Deb,
Little prediction. I think Quinn's out of control. I think.
He's heading
I think
down
an accident's coming up soon.
he's
you got to save that, though. You got to save that for predictions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm new to the show.
That's okay. It's okay.
He's heading down the wrong path, for sure.
I think so.
We let the new people do only one mistake, and that was yours. So there you go.
I'm on top of my game right now.
It's awesome.
Can we talk just a little bit more about Deb and her position?
Absolutely.
Gosh, she's such a great detective, and man, I think she made a mistake in taking that job. She's gonna be jonesing at her desk, when everybody's running out to the crime scenes.
I mean, her first day,
agree.
she was trying to decide, do I go to the case or do I go to my desk? Oh, I have to be at my desk for everybody else, she said. Dexter brought her back down from wanting to run out to every single crime scene.
Oh, yeah.
And what made her such a good detective is just her desire to get the job done right, to make her dad proud. And that same desire as a lieutenant is going to drive her crazy.
Yeah.
Because there's so many ways that people are going to make her do it wrong, or she's going to, she's just going to screw up.
With that, she also mentioned wanting to impress her brother, and even more so than her father, I think, wanting to impress her brother, who is almost her father at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. Absolutely. She's always going back to Dexter and he's keeps talking her off the ledge. You're gonna be fine. But I agree. I think her taking the job, and then nobody except Bautista has her back on it.
Right.
And Dexter.
Right.
And she has to go against LaGuardia. She says hire one guy, and she says no, because Bautista told her. Don't let her push you. If you let her push you now, you're never going to get out from under her. And I love that scene. So
that was a great scene. I love the phone call.
Phone call.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. You realize, okay, someone has her back.
Right.
Someone has her back. And we get to meet her pick for the replacement. And this guy, what was his name?
Anderson.
Mike Anderson.
Mike Anderson.
Needs an attitude of judgment. And she gives it to him.
I love that. Where, here's a moment. You're either going to step up to the plate, or you're just going to fade. and she let him have his bit, and then she saw LaGuardia, and then she stepped up. And not only was it fun to watch, she must have had a great time doing it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you could tell she was
absolutely. That was a great scene where she just I liked his adjustment. Like, okay, sorry. So she's finding her footing as lieutenant, and in the midst of all of this, I haven't forgotten. We still have the Tooth Fairy. He's still hanging there, but in the midst of all of this, we have poor Nathan.
Yes.
The jogger,
who is now with the professor and
Professor James and
Gilligan.
Travis
and the Professor James, which was I'm going to say probably Edward James' almost last role, because he was
that way.
Yeah, because he left us soon after. And Colin Hanks as the crazy guy, which he did in a movie. And I don't remember the name of the movie, but he was really good as the crazy guy in the movie. Tim
Hanks, right?
Yes,
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Son.
Yeah.
Come on. There's sometimes where he turns his head or says a phrase, you go, "Oh my God!"
I know, it's kind of wild, isn't it?
It is a little bit.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna do well though.
So what are they doing? What is the professor and I keep forgetting his name. Travis. What are they up to?
They have set off the beginnings of the end of the world, it seems.
In their minds.
In their minds.
This is what has to happen.
And that kind of explained the horse suddenly rearing up. I was like, where did this horse come from? What's up with the horse?
Lots of animals involved with these guys.
Do you know where they are? I mean, do you have a reference from watching this of like where they're located? Or is this the only thing you see as far as that storyline? Just this internal shot? Has there ever been any sort of reference? Like,
I mean, I think they're, related to the snake killing, so I think they're obviously there as well.
Oh, they're definitely in Florida. I was just curious to know if, they ever give kind of a location of an idea of, like, is it in the middle of the city somewhere? Is it in the Everglades?
I mean, I think it's in the town as well.
Okay.
They talk about where the snakes are from, though.
Oh, well, that's Florida. Pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit more about that, because you're our resident expert on this.
Right. So I also want to mention, in the beginning opening scenes, Harrison, Dexter's son, is playing with a white stallion horse.
Right. And
nice.
Did anybody notice that they had the horse, and I'm sorry to interrupt, Kristen, but did have, I don't know, is it marker or stain of red on the horse? Did anybody notice that?
No. I didn't catch it.
Pretty wild.
I didn't.
Yeah.
But obviously, that's very significant to what Travis and Professor James are up to, and that we see in the end with the horse coming in with the poor jogger who has been purified.
Yeah, is that what the kids are calling it? Is getting purified when they do that? That's what the professor keeps saying, though, right? Mm-hmm. He's not ready. He's not ready. He has to be purified before he's ready.
Well, it's seen that the white stallion is a pure animal. In the pagan religion, the kings would send a white stallion out wandering the land for a year and leading the people, because wherever the stallion, after it was declared sacred, wherever it would wander, that territory was said to be the king's territory. And obviously this would cause fights, but the horse was leading the people to all these battles, which in this show could be internal battles. And at the end of the year, the horse returns and is sacrificed in front of all the people. And the horse is understood to be the limited self or bodily awareness. So obviously there's a lot going on there that's going to be explained in the season, but it's very interesting.
And since this season started, this is episode 3 that we're on?
Episode 3.
So the professor, and you've told me this already. Oh, God, what's his name?
Professor James.
Professor James and
Travis.
Oh my God, sorry.
That's okay.
They've been here since the beginning, right?
Since the beginning of the season, right?
Right.
Of the season?
They just showed up at the beginning of the season.
So we're going to follow them through the whole season, probably. That's going to be the overall arc.
Yeah,
Yes, I think they're going to be the big nemesis, the big kill.
I can't remember. When exactly did we see them? When were they introduced? Was it right? Episode 1?
They were, I believe. Yeah, they had to have been. I'm just not sure of the exact scene.
Yeah, but the first killing I saw them do was the with the snakes.
Right.
And that was 2 episodes ago. So.
And you know that they're the snake killers, or you're just guessing?
Yeah, with the whole snakes in the body and the sort of Roman-like weeds, they made a shape. I'm not sure exactly what that symbolizes.
Yeah, I'm not sure either.
It seems like they are definitely responsible for that.
And based on the previews, there's some twisted stuff coming up with those two.
Yeah.
First of all, special effects are going to be awesome.
Yeah, incredible.
But, man, to be in that writer's room, why don't we do this?
Yeah.
And that brings us back to the Tooth Fairy case. And now, this is one of the best bits, the best scenes I think I've seen with Dexter having to take a look at. Well, he's meeting his idol, and he's turning out his idol's kind of an a-hole.
Right.
He finds out he was lazy.
Yeah.
And he didn't really care about, what the art of, what Dexter does.
Exactly.
But he was saying, I am your future, right? I am your future.
He actually asked Dexter, what do you have after this?
Yes.
And in my mind, I'm saying Dexter has a son. But, Walter didn't have that relationship with his son that Dexter is now trying to build. So I think that's going to be what Dexter has after all of this.
And Walter tells him, they just leave you. It doesn't matter. They take everything and they leave you. So all of this stuff is going on because once you have a kid, everything changes. Your worldview, everything changes. And it's just a fascinating filter that Dexter has to look through now. And so he decides, Dexter says, he's not getting a worthy send-off. He's not, because Walter says, make sure they know who I am.
Yeah.
Make sure my son knows. Maybe, how did he phrase it? Maybe then he'll respect me. What did he say? Do you remember? Something like that.
Yeah, he did. He said that then he would finally have respect from his son.
Right, and that's when Dexter went, oh, no, I'm not going to do this.
Brilliant.
So instead of the Dexter treatment, he just gets a pillow over the face.
Yeah.
How mundane.
Makes him suffer for his sins.
There you go. Nice
He
tie-in.
has become the god in this, even more so now, focusing on religion, making people suffer.
Nice tie-in. There it is. So instead, it makes it look like a heart attack. And so the end sequence, the end scenes, again, one of the best things of this series is just how they always just let the scenes go. We see Walter going off in a covered gurney. The same way he was making fun of the other guy, the idiot, the guy that's dumb as a sack of shit, gets carted off.
Steve, that's great.
Because he always figured I was going to go out in a blaze of glory. Everyone's going to know who I am finally. He gets carted off the same way. And Dexter drops all the teeth into the water.
Yeah. Never to be found.
Never to be found. I'm sure he's found a new dumping spot since his old one was discovered. Yes. In season 2.
I hope he's sailing a little further out.
Yeah.
Further out. And then some of the other scenes we had Quinn was having some very boring sex.
Yeah,
he was not into it at all.
Clearly.
Trying to move on, but it's not happening.
It's not working. Yeah. And did we know where Deb was? Did she get a final scene? I don't remember.
Sure she did or not.
She was probably still in the office.
Yeah, under her mound of paperwork that was very high.
I know there was a lot of some of the end scenes, but I don't. Oh no, Bautista got his car.
He did.
Yeah.
The Smokey and the Bandit car.
Very deserving. He didn't get his promotion, but he got that car.
The car.
Yeah.
And by the way, Burt Reynolds was the Bandit. Jackie Gleason was Smokey. Just in case. And I forget who the girl was. She was in everything. She was the flying nun. This is as far back as Sally Fields.
Oh, Sally Fields.
Yes,
That's right.
She was also Bandit. I don't know what they called her in the movie.
My age limits my intelligence.
Sadly, I remember that stuff and not important things. Well, that's...
Did we talk about the box? Dexter dropping his box.
Oh, yeah.
Talk about the box.
Well, he drops it, and after admiring the tooth collection, he goes back to his and admires his blood slides, and then he drops it, and he says, well, there's no order anymore.
Because he doesn't know how to put it back. And I thought it was great that he drops it while he was putting in the Tooth Fairy's slide.
Yeah.
Because that whole scene was about forcing you to look at your future.
Right.
You know, it doesn't stay nice and ordered. It doesn't go the way you think it's going to go.
Right.
And that was a great scene. I'm glad you remembered that. That was when he dropped that. And one broke.
Yeah.
And when, again, the sound. When he was trying to put the glass back together, and you can hear how the glass sounded.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, stop.
I think it's a kickoff to the rest of the season being just crazy.
Yeah.
Chaos? You think
No
he's going to
order
just start to
anymore.
spin out? Because that really was what grounded him in order, is having those slides. And as long as he could do that, everything was okay. So, yeah, that's an interesting place to stop. So, Jesse, I guess we'll go to a commercial and come back and do predictions, right? Cool.
Want to find out what the AfterBuzz is about?
Janice is a drama queen.
This is the divide that is going to carry the series.
Give us a call. 424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
It's television, and they want it to be as dramatic as possible.
I mean, it's Shakespearean.
You never know what goes on behind closed doors.
Find out why AfterBuzz TV is the #1 source for after-show content.
Now, in the eyes of Jimmy, Nucky is a villain.
424-256-1729. 424-256-1729.
I mean, who would you guys rather hear that from? Your husband or your best friend?
The wig will come out.
When the TV show is over, get your AfterBuzz on.
Coolest music. I love the music in there.
I'm working on the award.
You're working on the award? Oh, that's a good sound. So, off we go to...
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions. Jesse having fun with the fader. Predictions.
Go, Jesse.
Well, I don't think we're going to see much of the Tooth Fairy. I predict he's probably going to just fall off.
Fly away.
Fly away. Yeah. No more sneaking under pillows for him. What do you guys predict? Go ahead.
Well, I think, as I said earlier and made my one mistake of the show, I'm going to bring that back up. I think Quinn, he needs to go. I think it's coming. Yeah, because, he's just going to keep making things harder for Deb, and she doesn't need that. She's already got a crazy brother, and he's out of control. I don't see him getting things back together, so I think he needs to go.
But they've invested some time with him, right? A couple of seasons now. So I think when the time comes, if you're correct, they're going to use that as a buildup. That's going to be like, we can't kill off a main character. We can kill off this guy because we've invested enough time. People kind of, it'll have an impact. But so you think he's going to need to go away?
Yeah, I think he needs to leave. I mean, his relationship with Deb is over. Your relationship on the show is over. He needs to die somehow.
Yeah,
Let's just kill him off.
Sorry, dude. Sorry, look around. What do you think, Elise?
That's a good point. Maybe with the new guy, Mike Anderson, coming in, maybe could strike up a new love interest for Deb. You never know. I don't know.
That may turn into a little battle, a little turf war.
Yeah.
I think her new love is going to be her career. I think she's realized she's a career woman.
Well, we know that there's still possibly one more crazy out there. The auto shop guy, the new preacher, Sam.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
Where
find out.
was he this episode?
You know what? I think we're gonna see more next week because he's saying, "Come on out." You know, we're gonna do some baptism, and Dexter does not trust this guy. You know, and he's got a pretty good radar on that sort of thing. So my prediction is I'm going to go with, I think things do get out of control for Dexter because of when he drops all his samples. And we're going to start to see that spin. And I think Sam's going to step up, and I think he may get his comeuppance next week. We'll see. But with that, I think we got it. So we will start rolling out. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Kristen Snyder and Elise Donoghue for being with us. Hopefully you guys will be here next week, please. And thanks for listening. I'm Steve Bottomley, and we'll see you next week for Dexter.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you
later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.